All right, the next book that I want to review is called The Reading List by Sarah Nisha Adams. This is a beautiful story. It's about a widower, Mukesh, who recently lost his wife, Nana. He's got three daughters and a granddaughter who sometimes stays with him, whose name is Priya. It's also the story of Alicia, a young girl who works at the library and she has to take care of her mom and her brother who are both going through mental health issues, and she has no support to support them, and she primarily becomes the main person responsible for their well-being. So both of these people go to the local library, and Alicia works at the local library. She finds this book called To Kill a Mockingbird with a list of books in it, and one day she notices Mukesh come into the store and she shares this list with Mukesh. Eventually, Mukesh and Alicia start reading these books together, and through that connection for books, they develop an understanding of their life at this point of time. And I think for me, what really got me into this book was the fact that two people can read the same book and get something completely different from it based on their own way of looking at the world, where they are at their lives at that point of time, and what they're looking for from the characters in the book as well. For instance, Alicia, um, was really young and she had to look after her mother and her brother, while Mukesh was a lot older and he lost someone that was really close to him and he's trying to connect with his granddaughter. So Mukesh takes very different things from books like Beloved or Life of Pi than Alicia, who looks at the same story from the vantage point of a teenager, while he looks at the same story from the vantage point of an older person. And this can have very different perspectives. For instance, in The Suitable Boy, because it's about finding the perfect match for a girl in 1950s India, Mukesh would have reflected on that particular experience by looking at his own relationship and how he slowly developed that bond and connection with his wife. Whereas Alicia probably did not have as many relationships in a more formal commitment, and she looks at that story from that perspective. Eventually, reading these books helps them open up a lot more. They start connecting with the people around them and connecting with each other. They share things about difficult parts of their lives with each other and come to terms with things that are hard to come to terms with, like losing someone you love to an illness. So, overall, I think Sarah Nisha Adams does a really good job telling you a story about the love for books and how a love for books can help you make sense of life. And yeah, I hope you get a chance to read this book.